Oh my gosh, do I have a cute card for you today? Thank you so much for joining me for another Assemble This video featuring our favorite Winnie the Pooh friends. This is Winnie the Boo for Halloween and Piglet too. I think you're really going to love seeing this come together. I have a bunch of pretty pattern papers, my stamps already stamped on some craft cardstock, and we're going to do some die cutting and coloring to really make this card come alive. I have Winnie the Boo and Piglet stamped from the stamp set on some craft cardstock in VersaFine Clear ink. And then I did color him with colored pencils. You can check out the video to that above. It is kind of long, so I did separate it out. But you can see my whole process and tips for coloring with colored pencils over there. So once I was done coloring, I'm going to start die cutting. I love these postage stamp dies from Unity. I die cut our little friends and then a few pattern paper layers as well. And this has a postage stamp look to it, so I was really inspired by that. So I decided to just kind of play up that theme of a vintage postcard. I'm going to do some stamping on craft cardstock. This is the Pop Dots background, and I'm using VersaFine Clear Morning Mist ink. Just going to do a quick stamp on that. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of texture to our colored up friends with tattered grid background stamped in Versamark ink. And then I'm adding a few elements from Soul Mail stamped in Distress ink. This is Vintage Photo. Once all the stamping was done, I'm going to unify all the layers by using that same Vintage Photo ink and ink blend all my layers. Kind of gives it a vintage distressed look. Once all that was done, I'm going to layer everything up. Again, I'm really feeling those wonky angles, so we're going to layer up our postage stamp die cut layers up at an angle. I'm going to add a bow to the striped background. Just going to fiddle with that until I get it to the size that I like. I do tend to leave my tails really long, and then I'll trim it down later once I decide how I want my bow to really look like at the end. And I'm just gluing these down flat to the card front, kind of keep my layers down to a minimum. And then once I'm happy with that placement, I'm going to lift up all the edges to kind of give them a little bit more of a distressed look and a look of more dimension. Trim off those tails now that I kind of have an idea. We're going to add some foam tape to our featured panel and just pop that up right next to our bow. Pop up the little postage stamp die as well. Isn't that super cute? And I love how it layers over those Soul Mail elements. They just all really go together really well. I do have the sentiment from, it's called Hey There Pumpkin. And I just stamped that out with some VersaFine Clear ink. I'm going to trim that down really close to the black edge and then just snip those words apart. Add some foam tape to the back, and then I'll just stick those down at a bit of an angle. And then to accent that little postage stamp, I stamped the little bee and colored him with pencils, and I'm going to fussy cut him out and then pop him up just right over that little stamp. And to finish everything off, I found some black enamel dots, and it just kind of really pulls everything together for me. All the supplies will be listed in the description of this video and at my Dahlhouse Designs blog. Thank you so much for creating with me. I sure hope you were inspired. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch all my future video tutorials, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!